Around 1990, Kathy told me that she and her son Tony and some pals had discovered the karaoke bar at Yet Wah, a restaurant on Garden Heights. Thus began my venture into public singing, and thus did I get to meet Tony Goldmark. At age 8, he was an oldies authority, music of the 50s and 60s. He would become a comedy music writer, producer, and performer. And when in 2007, Tony married Marissa, I was honored and a little terrified to serve as the officiant. It was a costume party disguised as a wedding. It was so unique, shall we say, that it made the pages of People magazine. Kathy was the Queen of Hearts. Somehow that sounds right. Please welcome the son of Joe Goldmark and Kathi Kamen Goldmark, no doubt still an expert on oldies, Tony.
You'll forgive me if I'm a little unable to control my emotions at this time, but I must speak from the heart. What kind of a house of worship offers no free parking? We can console the afflicted, we can bring you closer to the Almighty, we can answer the unknowable questions of the universe, but a parking space in this neighborhood, we're not miracle workers. I've often thought that parking garages are kind of the perfect microcosm of uncaring capitalism. It's like you're paying, it's not a good, it's barely a service, you're paying for the right to exit your vehicle and travel on foot for a while. And they're charging you. It reminds one that of just, in a world that can so often be uncaring, that when someone comes along who bucks that trend and cares about just about everyone, she is to be celebrated. And when she leaves our world and makes it a less generous one for her absence, she is to be memorialized. As Laura said, when you're a child, you have no perspective. You grow up with one set of parents who believe everything they do is normal. So when I started meeting and befriending people who didn't have good relationships with their mother, I couldn't understand. What? They're not doing it right. They're not. It simply couldn't compute. And it's only through almost 29 years now of life experience that I realized just how abnormally wonderful my mother really was to love me and everyone as much as she did. And how lucky I was to win the lottery of having Kathi Kamen Goldmark as a mother. To be raised by someone so generous, so full of life and love and enthusiasm for seemingly everyone and everything, someone so fundamentally believed in letting people be themselves and in finding their own personal song to sing. Some mothers love their children because they have to. My mother had children, or had a child, so she could love them. Some mothers simply tell their children how much they love them, often among ample demonstrations of the precise opposite. My mother showed me how much she loved me at every turn, always encouraging me to follow my dreams no matter how foolhardy, always telling me how much she loved a new song I wrote no matter how much it sucked, always willing to provide a listening ear and a shoulder to cry on no matter how full of shit I was. This was a woman who loved fun and creativity so much that even when I played stupid, immature pranks on her, she'd half the time be too busy laughing at them herself to even punish me. I guess that's why I'm bitching about parking at her memorial. Seriously, you'd think a synagogue would have their audience. But no matter what happened to me, no matter how many bridges I burned or opportunities I squandered through my own short-sightedness, I always knew Mom would be there for me. Nothing about this is fair. It's not fair that we lost someone we need. It's not fair that someone so irreplaceable is gone now. And it's not fair that we'll never have time to do a truly worthy tribute to such an amazing life that touched us all so deeply. But I guess we're all here because, like my mom, we're too full of love not to try. My mother's favorite movie of all time is Disney's Peter Pan. She often told the story of seeing it at a drive-in theater with her family at age 4. Every time she took me to Disneyland, she always had to go on the Peter Pan's flight ride, even though the line was too long and it essentially is just a bunch of Christmas lights. Only now do I realize how thoroughly and wonderfully she embodied the Peter Pan story's ethos. She was never irresponsible or childish, but nor did she ever lose her sense of childlike wonder. Her life was proof that you can grow old without ever really growing up, or becoming cynical, or losing your love of losing yourself in fun and creativity and excitement. Mom, if you can somehow hear me now, from Never Never Land or wherever you are, from the bottom of my heart,